Okay. So thank you for basically hosting this call and recording it. As you all know, my laptop is broken and I'm super salty about it. I cannot look at I cannot see any Success Club points from anyone on my phone. So I don't know who has what Success Club. I know I have changed 8 lives this month. Kate has changed no. I have changed 4 lives this month. I have Success Club 8. Kate has Success Club 6, I'm pretty sure. Other than that, I do not know because I cannot see anything. But tonight we have Lindsay. She is a stay-at-home mom with a toddler who does not sleep. You know, she is just into everything. She never really gets a break with her daughter, and she is still building a rock solid business with that. I am in their team page, Team Destined to Be, and today, every Thursday, her coach shouts her out like how many team cycles she's doing and stuff. And today she team cycled 18 times. Like, that is fucking nuts. That is residual income. And I just last Thursday was my first team cycle at 18 cycles. So like, she's killing it. She has been a coach since October 2017. She is a success starter. If you do not know what a success starter is, that is when you help 3 people a month for the first 3 months of being a coach, and you get your summit ticket paid for. And if you don't know what summit is, we're not going to talk about it on this call, but you need to get there. Look it up. She is a team leader on the leadership ladder, which is amazing. That means she is truly building momentum in her business, and she has other coaches who are also changing lives. And she has 1 week left of qualification to be a 1-star diamond coach. And at the end of the month, she will be a Success Club 10 All-Star. When she was messaging me, she's like, hopefully I will be a Success Club 10 All-Star. But you guys know me and how I don't like those type of words. The hopefully I will. No, you will be a Success Club 10 All-Star. Like, you will by the end of this month. So tonight, she is going to be talking about how she ignored her vitals for such a long time and how that obviously got her nowhere. So she's going to talk about like her mindset shift with that and how she started really integrating her business in her daily life. And she is also going to talk about, you know, how she's a stay-at-home mom and really doesn't get any breaks, but she still makes it work. Okay. So Lindsay, if you want to take over, go ahead.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited to be here. I figured I'd tell a little backstory of kind of like who I was before Beachbody. And I was very unhealthy, even though I never really was somebody that had to lose weight. I was an unhealthy person. I ate fast food all the time. I literally hated exercising. I just hated it. I never did it. I would maybe go to the gym one time and be like, okay, I'm done with this. I was a night shift nurse, so you pick up some pretty bad habits there. You drink a lot of coffee, and the coffee sucked, so I'd like load it with cream and sugar, and just horrible food, fast food, whatever I could get on the go. And when you're trying to stay awake at like 2:00 in the morning, you just eat, or at least I did, and it was just really, really bad. But I wanted to have a baby, and actually the first time I signed up with Beachbody, I had reached out to my coach, is Danielle Ream. I don't know if any of you know her, but I literally was like starting my first challenge group the week I found out I was pregnant. I was like, okay, let me hold off on this for now, and I'll do this when I'm postpartum. Well, those unhealthy habits kind of trickled right into my pregnancy because I didn't make that lifestyle change yet. I was super unhealthy during my pregnancy. I just literally ate for 2 like they told you you're supposed to do. And like I said, I was still working nights, so I just ate and ate. I gained 70 pounds in my pregnancy. I'm 5'2". The last time I weighed myself, it was 200 pounds, and I normally was like 125, so I gained a lot of weight. And all that rapid weight gain on my body was just really bad. I wound up with carpal tunnel. All my fingers were numb. I would just drop shit all the time. Like, I'd pick up things and they'd fall because I had like no grip. Same with the carpal tunnel. I had wrist braces. So by the time it came for me to get my shit together after I had my daughter. I wound up having a C-section. I was a hot mess. And when I finally started my first challenge group and really got into it, that's when I decided that I would coach because I needed the income. We decided I would stay home with my daughter, and I was used to, a steady income. So I wanted something. Not that I really, honestly, in the beginning, I didn't believe that I would have any success in the business because I just didn't believe in myself. I was always somebody that flew completely under the radar no matter what. I hated any kind of attention drawn to me. If you looked at my social media before Beachbody, I never even took a selfie. Like, it was the complete opposite of who I am now. But what I wanted to talk about was kind of like when I realized what I had to do to grow my business. And like Cassie said, how I was completely ignoring the vitals in the beginning. When I found out kind of what you had to do as a coach, I called my coach, Danielle, and I was like, oh my gosh, I have to talk to people? I didn't even realize that. I have to reach out to people I don't know. I don't think I want to do this. And she was like, you can do it. Don't worry. She's like, you don't have to do that right away if you're not comfortable. So I definitely trickled in my warm market for a very long time. And I was somebody that thought like I was signing people up left and right. I had a pretty dramatic transformation. So that helped me out a lot in the beginning because like I said, I gained so much weight that when I really put the time and effort into my transformation, it was pretty dramatic. So it was eye-catching, but that only lasts for so long. People are going to like be so impressed with that transformation. And then if you're just showing it to the same couple hundred people, they're going to be like, okay, what's next? So I realized that if I really wanted to make this business work, I had to actually do what my coach was telling me to do. So the 3 things that I changed in my business, I have notes because I will completely forget what I'm talking about if I don't. And it wound up being like 3 C's, confidence, consistency, and coach posting, because those were the 3 things that I didn't have and that I wasn't doing. So confidence. When I was talking to people, I was nervous. I was word vomiting. I was like, I don't want to say I was never like begging it, but there was just no confidence in what I was saying. So I realized that the way that I was viewing our conversations was more like, okay, if you buy this challenge pack from me, you're helping me out. You're giving me commission. You're giving me 2 Success Club points. You're helping me out. But what I realized is that is just not true. Of course, they're helping me out in some kind of way, but really I'm helping them. I'm giving this gift to them. I am taking them on this journey with me. So I'm actually the one helping them out. And when I realized that, I was like, oh, this is actually really easy. I started talking to people with confidence, and instead of saying things like, oh, I think this could help you, or maybe you could try this, or anything like that, it was more of, no, I know this can help you, and you're going to give me an objection. Okay, I'm going to battle it. And if you're going to still give me that objection, I'm going to follow up with you in a couple months, and we're going to see, how you're feeling in a few months, because of course I'm showing up every single day in between the first follow-up, or in between the first conversation and the next follow-up. I definitely definitely don't take no for an answer. I'm not obnoxious with it, but I make people tell me the reasons why they don't want to sign up. And if it's money and things like that, I give them options. I don't just let them kind of run away from me right away. And if they're still telling me no, like I said, I'm going to follow up with them. But before that, if somebody told me no, I was just like, okay, bye. I'm never going to talk to you again. I'm not going to bother following up with you. I'm not going to write you on a list. I'm not going to keep track of anybody. And that's what kind of brings me into my next little snippet, is that I was the complete opposite of whatever consistent is. And I thought I was being consistent in my business, but I definitely wasn't. When I look back and I'm like, for probably the first 5 months, I didn't invite, I didn't track anybody. I didn't follow up with people unless it was somebody I know and they specifically told me, yes, I'm going to sign up next week. Then I would follow up with them. But I was never someone that was in the beginning, I never said, okay, they stopped talking to me. Let me see why they stopped talking to me, or they ghosted me. Let me ask them again, if they want to get on this journey with me. I was never that person. So I had to obviously kind of change that because we all know that consistency is the key to this business, and consistency in posting and tracking and everything like that. So I sat down one night and I figured out a system, and the system has worked so well for me. And the first part of my system was adding to my network, because my husband is a police officer and he is anti-beach body, like hardcore. And he's all about, you know, the safety and stuff like that. So he was yelling at me for like tagging location and things like that. So I have that to kind of deal with on the side too. But with the consistency, I started adding to my network, which I wasn't doing before because of him. So adding to my network was a huge, huge thing. And obviously that's so simple, but I really didn't know where to start. And once I kind of dug into some training and things like that, and I started with Captivate, and I'm sure all of you know about Captivate. But night mode is amazing on Captivate. If you don't know about night mode, it literally follows people for you at night. You kind of make like a queue, and you just hit like follow somebody every 30 seconds while I'm sleeping, and you wake up with like a bunch of new followers. I literally have grown my following so crazy in just like the last 4 months. I think I started at like 700 and something followers, and I'm at like 1,800 now, and that's just from straight Captivate for like the last 4 months. And I actually made a training for my team on it, so if you guys want, if you don't know about it, I can give it to you. And then so my system. So when I realized that I had to kind of figure out a way to really work this business and get that system down, I came up with just tracking. And, you know, we all obviously know about that, but all those people that I was adding to my network, I was messaging every single one of them. And I started, you know, building connections with them. And I was looking at their page and seeing what we connect on and asking them questions. And a lot of times, you know, I kind of gear more towards the mom. So I see a baby in your profile picture, I'm definitely going to add you as a friend, and we're going to talk about that. I'm going to ask you, you know, things about your baby and be like, oh my gosh, they look about the same age, or I remember that age, or whatever. You know, we're going to have a conversation. We're going to keep it going. You know, for some reason that conversation accidentally dwindles, then I've already written you in my calendar for 2 weeks later to send you an invite. And that system has just been working. So every single day I'm writing down my new followers and I'm sending them messages, and then I'm inviting them 2 weeks later. And hopefully I'm building that connection in between those 2 times. And that has really, really helped me. I don't personally like cold message somebody without kind of starting a little bit of a relationship with them, but that's just me. That's what works for me. And being consistent has saved me so much time, because when it comes time to invite, I open my calendar to the day that I'm on. Today's, you know, the 13th. I go to the 13th. Just today, I had 25 people to invite just off my calendar. I didn't have to go through my pictures. I didn't have to, you know, go to my stories or anything like that. And then all those people that I'm inviting from my stories and because those guys are kind of free game. If you're like liking my picture and stuff, then I'm going to send you like a thanks for liking my transformation post type of invite. But I'm talking straight from my system and tracking someone. And then I'm just writing all those people down that I invite, and then, you know, I just keep following up with them and keep following up with them. So the confidence, the consistency, it's just completely changed everything. And then the last thing that I realized is I rocked this business with one solid coach so I started in October up until about May, I think was when the next girls signed up with me. And had a bunch of discount coaches, but I could never get anybody to coach, and I couldn't understand why. And it makes sense, like you attract challengers by talking about your challenge group, but if you don't talk about coaching, then how are you supposed to attract coaches? And I was scared to death to talk about coaching, because I did not want people to think that I was only reaching out to them because I wanted them to buy something from me, or I didn't want them to judge me, and I didn't want them to think, oh, there's another girl just selling something on Instagram. So I never talked about coaching, but my coach told me that I had to. She's like, if you really want to make this business something, you have to get more business builders. Obviously, you don't have to be like, hey, you know, want to come make 6 figures with me? let's go. It doesn't have to be a post like that, but just, sprinkling coaching into my post. So a lot of times, like I said, my daughter doesn't sleep. She will sleep in the car. So I'll drive and I'll go park somewhere. She'll sleep in the car. And there we go. I'm snapping a picture and I'm saying, hey guys, look, I'm sitting in another parking lot. I'm running my business from my phone while my kid sleeps. Simple things like that. And just sprinkling those posts in and talking about it in my stories. It was like all of a sudden I was having people reach out to me about coaching, and I was having my own challengers reach out to me about coaching. So it was really interesting because me personally, sorry, my throat's so dry. I didn't realize that people didn't really know what a coach was. I had known a couple coaches before, so I just had always known what one was, but most of the people out there really don't know what a Beachbody coach is, or if you're talking about a challenge group or something like that, they don't know that this is a business that you're running and that they could run it too. So that changing that in my, in my weekly posting and stuff like that has been a huge game changer. And yeah, so those three things are the main thing that I changed in my business. And like I said before, I was doing literally none of that. And the second that I started gaining confidence, and I'm not even talking about just confidence in myself, because obviously we all know that these programs do that for you as your mindset changes and you're focusing on personal development, and as your body changes because you're feeling more confident in yourself, but just confident in the business. That was such a game changer for me because I stopped caring what people thought about me. I stopped caring that if anybody was going to be judging me or anything like that. I just stopped caring about it. And gosh, life is so much easier when you do that, because you're just like, I'm living this for myself. I have my dreams. I have my goals. So I'm going to get them done. And you can talk whatever crap you want about me, but I am not going to care. And the second I was consistent and confident and I started talking about coaching, it was like complete 360. And it's been the best decision ever. And I stress it so much to my coaches. I'm like, just be consistent. It's going to change your business so much. If you just have a system down, you track your people, you do it every single day, even if it's just 5 invites, do it. And you will see such major changes. And then with being consistent and everything like that, it's saving you time. So for somebody who has a daughter that doesn't sleep, this is the time I do all of my things. Usually she's sleeping by 9 o'clock, but sometimes she's not. And from 9 o'clock to midnight, sometimes a little later than that, I'm just hustling. And that's when I schedule all my one-on-one calls. I do one-on-one calls with all my new challengers, and we do a meal plan together. It's when I do all my invites. I do my invites and my hey girls at night, so that when I wake up in the morning, throughout my day when my daughter's eating, or if she's, kind of distracted, with a TV show or something like that, I can just quickly respond with follow-ups and replying to messages. So that's been a lot easier since I've kind of broken it up like that, because trying to get it all done in 1 hour it was just a little difficult, just because, I was exhausted. And not on top of her not sleeping, it takes about an hour and a half for her to fall asleep. So I'm laying in a dark room with her from 8 p.m. on. And for me to get up out of bed and just work my business is hard enough as it is. So those time savers has been key. But that's really all I have for you. Unless you have any questions or anything like that. That's it.
I love that. So from this whole call, I got consistency. Consistency fucking matters. And that you can't be scared to post, to follow up, to message people, to get out of your comfort zone. You can't be scared to talk about the coaching opportunity. Even if you don't have to be making $1 million to be able to talk about coaching. There's so many other things you can talk about if you haven't, gotten good paychecks yet. And even if you make only $50, say, because today's payday, say you made $50 in your check, that's $50 you didn't have before. That's $50 you had without coaching. You can talk about that you were able to pay your electric bill, that you were able to grab groceries without dipping into your 9-to-5 paycheck, you know, things like that. You can talk about the community. You can talk about the family, like the family that you just inherited. You can talk about so many things that so many people are, what's the word I'm looking for? Yearning. I don't know if that's the word, like yearning for in their life. Like, you know, a sisterhood of girls who are just positive and want to build each other up. Like, so many people don't have that, like especially moms. I feel like I have like maybe 2 friends outside of coaching, and literally like all of my friends are coaches and people I have made friendships with in here. These are like all my real friends, because they're the people that, 1, don't judge me, 2, they're there for me, 3, they have all positive intentions. They want to we want to just build each other up, and I don't really have friends like that. All of them want to get drunk or high or whatever, you know. So I never really had a support system like I do with coaching and in the friends I've made with it. So it doesn't have to be all about money when you're talking about coaching either. That's pretty much the spiel I had. So does anyone have any questions or anything that they wanna ask or anything? If not, Lindsay, thank you so much for getting on, recording this call, and sharing your story with us. I know there's a lot of new faces on here, and I feel like they definitely needed to hear all of this. So I am eternally grateful for you.
Thank you. Thanks for having me. Sorry it was so fast, I guess. I kind of like, I looked up at the clock and I was like, oh, that was fast.
It's okay. It's all right.
It probably could have talked longer.
It's a blessing in disguise because I still have to work out. But I talk fast too. I get through everything, and it's like 10 minutes went by, and I'm like, oh.
I know, and you know, I was rushing to get here, so I think my brain was just like when I done, because literally I sat down, I got in my house, sat down, and like got on the computer.
Yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much. If anyone has any questions, like after we get off the call, I can definitely forward them to you or whatever. But thank you so much for getting on here and talking to us. And send me the recording when it's done, please.
Okay.
All right. Well, I don't know how to end calls yet. I'm not at this level, so this is awkward, but I think everyone can just kind of, dwindle away. Bye. Thank you. I'm getting off.